Good morning students. Today we are going to see the next part of our lesson. The lesson name is Effect of British Rule. This is our third lesson, and before this period we saw some important point. We saw the work done by Pratap Singh, Chhatrapati Pratap Singh. Then we saw the second part, the dual government, and now we are going to see the parliamentary laws. According to Regulating Act of 1773, the Bengal Governor came to be known as the Governor General. In 1773, new act was passed. It is the Regulating Act, and according to this Regulating Act, the Bengal Governor came to be known as the Governor General. He became the Governor General. According to this act, Lord Warren Hastings became the Governor General of India. And according to this act, the Governor General, the Governor of Bengal, whose name was Lord Warren Hastings, he became the Governor General of India. He got the right to control the policies of Mumbai and Madras provinces. When he became the Governor General, he got the right to control the provisions of Mumbai, the policies of Mumbai and Madras provinces. A committee of 4 members was set up to assist him, and to help him, to assist him, a committee of 4 members was set up. In 1784, Pitt's India Act was passed, and then in 1784 a new act passed. Its name was Pitt's India Act. The act provided for appointment of a permanent board of control for better regulation and management of affairs of the East India Company in India. The act provided for appointment of a permanent board of control. This act provided appointment of a permanent board of control for better regulation and management of affairs of India East India Company in India. In 1813, 1833 and 1853, new laws were passed by the Parliament to make certain changes in the working of the company. And then in 1813 and 1833 and in 1853, new laws were passed by the Parliament to make certain changes in the working of the company. To make changes in the working of the company, to make certain changes in the working of the company, some new laws were passed after some years. In this way, there evolved an indirect control of the British government on the administration of East India Company, and in this way British government indirectly controlled the administration of the East India Company. With the emergency of British rule, a new administrative system got developed in India. With the emergence of British rule, when the British rule emergence, a new administration system got developed in India. A new administration system started in India. Civil services, military, police force and judicial system became the main pillars of British administration in India. And 4 systems means the civil services, the military service, then police force and judicial system. These 4 systems became the main pillars or the main objects of British administration in India. The next point is civil service. Next point is civil service. To strengthen the British rule in India, there was a need for bureaucrats. To strengthen the British rule in India, to became the British rules in India, there was a need of bureaucrats. Lord Cornwallis introduced bureaucracy, and so Lord Cornwallis introduced bureaucracy in India. Civil services became an important part of British government, and so civil services became an important part of British government. He restricted the private trade carried out by the company officers, and for this purpose he increased their salary. He also restricted, means he also stopped the private trade carried out by the company officers, and so for this purpose he also increased their salary. He increased the salary of the workers of the company. For the convenience of administration, he divided the British occupied territories into districts. And to smooth the administration, for the convenience of the administration, to become the administration easy, he divided the British occupied territories into different districts. The district collector was the chief of district administration, and the district collector became the chief of the district administration. He was responsible for the collection of revenue, giving justice, maintaining law and order, and then the officer became responsible for maintaining law and order in that district, for giving justice, and for collecting the revenue. The officers were appointed through competitive examinations known as Indian Civil Services, and the officers was appointed through the competitive examinations, and this exam is known as Civil Services, means ICS. Second point is military and police force. The duty of military was to safeguard the British occupied regions in India. The duty of the military force was to safeguard the British occupied regions in India, acquire new territories, and break down any revolt against the British in India. And they are also given the duty to acquire new territories in India and break down the revolt against the British in India. This was also their duty. To maintain law and order in the country was the duty of the police force. And the main duty or the important duty of the police force was to maintain law and order in the country. Next is judicial system. The British established a new judicial system in India on the basis of judicial system in England. The British established a new judicial system like the judicial systems in India, like the judicial systems in England. They established a new judicial system same in India. Every district had a civil and a criminal court to solve the local cases. And according to the new judicial system, every district had a civil and a criminal court. Every district had a civil and a criminal court to solve the local cases. For reconsideration of their judgment, a high court was established. And for the reconsideration of their judgment, a high court was also established. We will see the next part of this lesson in our next period. Thank you.